Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Plump and this is Plump Beauty. Today I have used the Modern Renaissance Anastasia Beverly Hills palette to create this kind of like pink golden look. First time using the pink shades in there. Got a little bit messy along the way, but we pulled through in the end. So if you want to know how to get this look right here, please keep watching. Alright, so to start, I have pinned my hair back and I've moisturised my face. So I'm going to go in with primer, and the primer I'm using today is the L'Oreal Infallible Magic Essence Drops. I used these in my last video and I really love them. They're really hydrating and they made my makeup last all day, like it didn't kind of separate on my face or anything, which was good. Alright, primer on. Again, it's so cooling, so nice. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal True Match and Infallible. Excuse the dirty packaging, how embarrassing. But I'm just going to mix the two on the back of my hand and use my Real Techniques base sponge to blend that in. Now, thank you to everyone who's watched my videos so far. I've really appreciated the feedback. If you guys want me to film anything in particular, like a one brand tutorial or test out some new products, please let me know. I love trying out new products. Now, I'm a primary teacher and we have just broken up for our 2-week holiday, which I'm very excited about, so I can actually do some more filming and also sleep in. Okay, foundation is done. Just like medium coverage. You can build it up if you want. And now I'm going to move on to my eyes. Usually I do my brows first, but for today's eye look, it's quite colourful and there's going to be a lot of blending involved. So I thought I'll leave my brows to the end just so I don't mess them up. Now for concealer, I'm using the Fit Me in shade 15, the Fit Me concealer by Maybelline. And I'm just going to place that under my eyes. And then I'm also going to use it as an eye primer because it works really well. Now I've put a little bit more on my eyes because I want to have quite a nice base for the look today, so we need lots of shadows used. So for today's eye look, I'm going to be using the Modern Renaissance Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Now I know it's not super affordable, but I really wanted to test out all the pinks in it today because I haven't really used them that much, and I thought I'd challenge myself. Now I'm just using the shade Tempera in the palette. It's just like a light colour. It's going to just set my lids and also add a bit of highlight to my brow bone. Now I want to set them quite well because I will be using some of the pink shades in here. And we all know that kind of red and pink colours can be a little bit trickier to blend, so we need that nice base down. Bring some under the eyes. Alright, now I've just zoomed you in, up close and personal to my eyes. And I'm going to begin with the shade Buon Fresco here. And I'm just going to put that in my crease, just as my transition shade. Now, these Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes are very pigmented, so you definitely want to go in with a light hand to begin with. So I'm just looking down a bit so I can get into my crease. And I'm just really light pressure going from the inner corner to the outer corner. Now for today's look, I'm going to try and do a halo eye. So I'm going to leave a blank space in the middle of my eye and put the dark shades on the inner and outer corner. Now with that transition shade, I'm just going to bring it into the outer corner and kind of connect it up into my crease. Okay, so with that shade, I've put it in my crease. I've also put some in the outer corner here and also in the middle corner. I've left the middle part blank because I'm going to put a different shade on that later on. I've also dragged it out a little bit to kind of elongate the eye, but I will come back and go over that just to ensure that all the other shades are blended. So next I'm going to go into the shade Love Letter right here. It's kind of like a cool pinky purple colour, and again I'm just going in with a really light hand, really small amount on my brush to begin with, because once you put too much down it's really hard to blend it out. So I'm actually going to start in my outer corner, just really lightly placing the product. Now it's not coming out as vibrant on camera, but once we build it up you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So I'm pretty much placing the product where I want it to go, and then I'll start blending it out. So just in the outer corner and coming into the crease a little bit. Now the thing with these colourful looks is that the process, it doesn't look that great, but once it's all finished and you've got your mascara on and everything, it all comes together. Now because I'm doing a halo eye, I'm going to leave the centre blank, and I'm just going to put this pink in my crease and bring it into the inner corner. For the inner corner I'm going to use a smaller brush just so I can get a bit more precision. So right now I look like I have a bruise in my eye, but we'll get there guys, don't worry. Now I haven't put it all the way in the inner corner, it's just close to it. And then I'm going to connect the inner corner and the outer corner in my crease. It's interesting, it's looking a little bit patchy on camera, but when I look in the mirror, it's looking pretty blended. I think what I'm going to do is go in with another blending brush, and I'm going to dip into the burnt orange colour right here, just to warm up the crease a little bit, because you don't want to look like you've been punched in the eye. So I'm just going to see how that goes. Just above where that pink is. This is why I haven't done my brows yet, because we need to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, I think the eye look definitely needed that warmer colour just in the crease. It's just a hint of it. Okay, now I'm going to go onto my lower lash line, and to begin I'm going to be using that Buon Fresco transition colour again, the purpley one. And I'm not going to bring it down too far, just like really close onto my lash line. And then I'm actually going to go in with that burnt orange colour again. So with that burnt orange colour, I'm just lightly sweeping it under my eyes and connecting it to the shadow on top. So I'm going to go in with that Love Letter pink shade again, and I'm going to be using kind of like a flat, fluffy brush, because I don't want to use a big fluffy brush, otherwise the colour can get a little bit out of control. So I'm going to press this onto my lower lash line. Now I'm just going to go in with my big fluffy brush and just kind of blend everything out. And then I'm going to go back in with that pink shade and just intensify the colour a little bit. I feel like I've lost it up in my crease especially. And to be honest, this shade has kind of turned a little bit purple on my skin tone, which is interesting. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the centre part of my eye, and I'm using some concealer just to kind of brighten up the space, so then when I put the shadow on, it'll pop a little bit better. So I'm just using a flat brush, a little bit of concealer, just to brighten up that space. So the shadow I'm going in with first is the Primavera shade in the palette. It's kind of like a champagne gold, and I'm just going to place it on with a flat brush, and then I'm going to go in with something over top. I really love this shade. You could use this just all over the lid. A little bit of bronzer in the crease. Now I'm just bringing it a little bit above my crease because I do have hooded eyes and I want to be able to see the shadow a little bit more. Right, now I'm just going to get one of my fluffy blending brushes and just blend in that shade a little bit, just so we have no harsh lines. Now I think I need a little bit of definition in my outer corner here. So what I'm going to do is, with that flat brush again, I'm just going to dab into the Cypress Umber shade. It's a really dark chocolatey brown in the palette. It's really pigmented and can be a little bit tricky to blend. So just going with a light hand if you are using this at home. And I'm just going to drag it. It's kind of like on the outer lash line here. So I've got a little bit of definition. Looks better. And then I'm going to go back into that Love Letter, the pink shade, and just go into my crease again. And then with my fluffy blending brush, I'm going to go back into that burnt orange shade and just go over everything just to make sure it's blended out. There's lots of blending and going back and forth with this eye look. It's a shame, it looks so much better in person. Anyway, moving on. I am going to go into one of these Australis Metallic eyeshadows. I really hope they make these still. I've had mine forever and it's still good. It hasn't dried out or anything. It's kind of like a moussey metallic shimmer and it works best with your fingers. You can use like a cotton tip or a really flat synthetic hair brush. I'm just going to go in with my finger first. Now you can have like a really opaque look with these, or it can act as like a topper to your shadows. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to press it over that shimmer shadow that we have down already, just to make that halo eye pop a little bit more. Now using a flat synthetic brush, just like this one, I'm going to put some on my lower lash line as well. Just in the center to match up with the top. Okay, so I finished the other eye off camera, did my brows and added mascara. I think the eye look turned out okay. Like, it's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy that I gave those pink shadows a go. I actually haven't used them before, so trying it for the first time on camera. Now, I am going to move on to bronzer, and for bronzer today, I'm using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, my ultimate favourite. And I'm just going to go with a light hand. Now, has anyone found a new skill or a new hobby during isolation this year? I know you're probably sick of talking about COVID, but if you found a new passion for something or developed a skill, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys have been up to. I have been gardening quite a bit. I've also gone a bit plant crazy. I've got about 14 plants in my house. My partner's like, okay, no more. So yeah, let me know what you guys have been up to. So for contour today, I'm going to be using the Tarte's Pro Glow To Go. It's like a mini palette. I was gifted this. And I'm going to be using my Zoeva Luxe Cheek Finish brush right here to contour my cheeks. I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush just to blend that out a little bit better. I think I went in a little bit too heavy with it, but that's okay. Now, if you ever find you've gone a little bit too low with your bronzer or your contour, you can just get your beauty sponge and just kind of go over it. It usually has a little bit of foundation left over on it, and it just kind of cleans it up a little bit. Like that. Now for blush, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Melon Dollar Baby. I used it in my last video and I really liked it, so I'm going to use it again. And it kind of ties in with the pink look as well. Now I use natural lighting when I film. I'm actually sitting in front of a window right now and it's quite an overcast day, so I'm sorry if it goes a little bit dark. The light kind of fluctuates a little bit. Okay, and for highlighter today, I'm using my new favourite highlight. It's the Glow Mon Amour Drops. Again, probably should have put it on before powder, but I found in my last video it didn't disturb the powders too much on my face already, so should be fine. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hands and blend it out with my finger. Oh, looks so good. Oh, every time. I'm also going to put a little bit on my nose. Oh, or a lot. Oopsies. Calm that down. Cupid's bow. Now, when I wore this in my last video, I actually wore the makeup look all day, and it definitely lasted the highlighter drops. It didn't separate my skin. Sometimes liquid highlighters can kind of start to separate, but this one has great lasting power. And it's from Chemist, so that's also a bonus. Highlighter on, looking like a glazed donut. So if you feel like you've gone a little bit overboard with your highlighter, you can go back in with your sponge just to blend it all out, make sure that everything's nice and seamless. But yes, I definitely recommend buying those, they're so nice. Alright, now the last things I need to do, I just comb through my brows with some brow gel, just to keep them in place, and then I'm going to move on to lips. Alright, so for lips today, I'm just going to stick with a nude because I'm going to let the eyes kind of pop. So I'm going to go in with a lip liner. I'm using the NYX Natural lip liner, and then I'm going to go in with the Beige Babe Maybelline lipstick. Alright, lips are done. I just used the nude lipstick. I also put a little bit of gloss on top. My lips were quite dry, so I needed it. But this is the finished look. I think it turned out pretty well. Something fun to do. Alright everyone, that's it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. I know it got a little bit messy in the middle there, but we pulled through in the end. I hope to see you in my next video. If you guys have any requests, please let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe. Thanks, bye!